Right. Hello and welcome to this day 22 of streaming and developing our roguelite space shooter survivor right here. And so, yeah, today we keep on the struggle to, um, design the whole stats shipbuilding upgrade system. Basically, what I'm trying to achieve right now is um, that we have the ship has stats, but there's also module slots which can also modify the stats of the weapons, and that the weapons are affected by all of those stats. And yeah, it's a complicated system. Um, we both need to have weapons being driven by the stats, but we also need to have a way that new upgrades and new modules installed will update these stats. And on top of that, we are also kind of refactoring the damages because we want to have multiple damage types. And about this, I'm not sure we are going in the right direction. So let's maybe look at the code again. Let's get into Visual Studio. Let's see what we got now. Alright. What if this is a song that's related to World of Warcraft? Or Warcraft 3? I don't remember. Anyways, so let's review a little like how things are working now. So right now a weapon such as the machine gun has this weapon damage authoring here, which will decide what kind of damage it does and with which ratio of the main stats it will deal it. And so that works for now. But the problem is, I guess it doesn't work so well with the damage types. Alright, so let's just review how it works. So right now we have this array of damages. So for example, for now we don't have the other types of damage. But in theory, I can come here and add another one. And let's say in here we have corrosive or fire or ice or whatever. And so I would be able to set this here. And this would now make it that when a bullet of this machine gun it's an enemy, it would have the corrosive thing, and then so we'd have to basically update this place here, and we do like we do with the explosive. We will have some logic here, which would be wait, no, actually, no, it would be here. We'd do something like if damage dealer that damage type equals damage type that corrosive, and then probably here we would do add component shit add component corrosive or something like that to our other entity that's been hit. We should have access to it, right? Right. Okay, it's not other, it's hit entity. And probably we would have some logic. So if it's corrosive, for example, I want to add stacks. So it'd be if has component corrosive already, then I want to say corrosive that stacks plus equal 1 or something like that. And then we'll have a system that's going to be like the corrosive system or some shit like that, and what it's going to do is apply the damage to anything that has this corrosive component here. And it would apply the damage by doing like ship health that take damage. Right, this thing takes a damage dealer though. Which would be kind of strange in this case, because I would actually want to pass a specific number. I would want to do the calculation outside. Because in that case, I would want to go and get the ship manager, get her stats for damage corrosive, for example. And we'd want to apply this multiplied by the number of stacks, and multiply this by our delta time, because this is overtime. I guess not, actually. Actually, I think we want to deal this. But make sure we deal it every second. So... it would be called every second until duration is done. And so here we would also refresh the duration, I guess. Yeah, we would do something like this. So that still implies that we are using a singleton to be the source of truth of our stats and damage. Hey Jen, how come you are still up? Like, what time is it right now? Like, it's like 4 a.m.? Yeah, so this still implies that we have a singleton that is the source of truth. And potentially this is kind of wrong because what if hmm what if I have another module that would bring a modifier? Hmm. Yeah. Actually, we should be setting the damage in here to whatever damage dealer has. So it would be damage dealer that damage. Because we cannot be calculating it here. I so this is in a different system. Huh? Yeah, so we would be applying corrosive damage times the stacks. And yeah, so this damage here will have to be calculated beforehand. Mhm. Yeah, so it means anytime we fire something, we need to have it calculated already. Okay, so that still means that here is where we calculate everything. Mm-hmm. And so this could actually work because I could access the module here from this thing. Or rather, I could access the slot and I could access the slot modifier, and then I could pass it through here. And so I could pass the modifiers in here. And since this is already... So right now, since it's called on the ship, it can directly pass the ship modifiers, but I could definitely have a modifiers here. Is it modifiers container? Yes. Yeah. So we could have our slot modifiers here. And just pass them in like so. I think that would work. I don't know, I felt like we're gonna have problems with this somehow. You're reading and listening. I don't know how you can read and listen at the same time. I know I cannot do that for sure. I can absolutely not focus on two things at once. Alright, but I don't want to take care of this slot stuff for now. Mm. So I feel like it might be helpful that we at least implement one other damage type that is not like the ones from here. I mean, because right now we have the 3 damage types that are gonna be the main damage types. Like any weapon is going to deal one of those 3 damage types. It's either going to be kinetic, or it's going to be energy, or it's going to be explosive. And so the reasoning behind this is that energy is going to be strong against shields, while explosive is going to be strong against armor, and I guess kinetic is just like the normal damage type, more balanced, which is it should be somewhat, it should be less strong against shields, and yeah, less strong against armor, but better against hull. Not sure about this yet. But the thing is, I want to have other damage types that are more like status effects. Yeah, so I was thinking we could also have some flags. for applied status effect. And that could work too. That would render the whole multiple damage dealer thing kind of useless, actually. Hmm. But that is assuming that I only need to know that something is applying a status effect. And I'm not sure that's the case, because we do need to calculate the damage. Like... Yeah, I really think we do need to implement one of those things first. So let's do that. Let's do that, and let's start with what? Maybe I should implement all of them. Alright, let's add them first to our damage typing. Mm. So I'm not sure if I want to do this or if I would like to call this main damage type. And those would be more like, I guess, elemental damage types or something like that. Mm. We'll have fire, cryo, corrosive, corrosion. Or should this be acid? Maybe it's acid. Yeah. Do we have some more? Those main types, and we have status effects: freeze, corroded, burning, electrocuted. So maybe we'll have electrical as well for stun chains. I feel like, yeah, we're gonna have electrical probably. Or lightning. Is it light? Nah, I think it should be electrical. Alright, that should be the main types, I guess. Mm-hmm. And so that would require me to kind of change this, because then I can't have just this. Because I could put this as flags. And then here I have a... It's an int, I guess. No. Elemental damage type. And I guess it would be elemental damage types. And here would come and say this is 1, this is 2, this is 4, and this is 8. Mm. Mm-mm. Hmm. I don't think it's gonna work because at the end of the day, I want to know in this damage dealer here how much is it dealing, or do I? Because in the end, the thing is, alright, let's draw something. Mm. Um. Alright, so we have a sheep over here. And let's say we have a slot like this, we have a slot like this, a slot like this. And in here we have a machine gun. Mm. This thing here has kinetic damage. Oh shit. 10 and... Mm. And let's say here we have a corrosive module. And this thing would add... It's gonna add the corrosive damage. Corrosive to adjacent. So that means this one here gonna become corrosive here, and this one too. However, if we have another slot over here and it's not connected, then these don't get the corrosive. Um, so that means that I need to add a corrosive damage here. So that's gonna be a flat. That would be in the form of a flat modifier. That would be a flat corrosive shit. So let's say it deals 3. And in, I guess so, a base corrosive would be would be 0. And then and we wouldn't have any modifier for the kinetic damage, so we would come, take a corrosive damage as 10, and there's nothing coming from the other one. However, for the corrosive, we would get 0 and 3. So they would add up together, and we would have 10 normal and 3 corrosive. Mm-hmm. And so that means the bullet that is fired is going to have a damage dealer. Of type kinetic for 10. And it's gonna have another damage dealer of type corrosive for 3. And so if an enemy now gets hit by this, right, then directly I will do ship health. can call the take damage. And pass in this first damage dealer here, which results in just a direct -10. In whatever it has, like shield, armor, or directly to the hull. But this thing knows how to deal this damage, so that's good. Now the problem is that this thing doesn't know how to deal corrosive damage. Maybe it could, though. Yeah, I think it absolutely could. It will have to keep track of the stacks of any damage type, or yeah. So I guess in the case that we have the corrosive, then we're gonna do the same thing. Um, and the problem is I can't really do this per time, or can I? Maybe I can. Maybe all this does is, first of all, if there is shield, we return. There's nothing to do. Basically, the shield is going to block any elemental damage. And else, we update the corrosive damage. And we increment the stacks. And then we'll have our corrosive system. Yeah, also we'll increment the duration somehow. And in the corrosive system, we're gonna iterate all the ship health. And if they still have duration, do we need the duration actually? We don't need the duration, I think. What we're gonna do instead is that every second every second if the stacks are if stacks are superior to 0, we are going to decrement the stacks. And deal the corrosive damage. And do basically health. Yeah, well, let's imagine that I wrote this properly. There. Shit. Health minus. Um, minus stacks. Times damage. Alright, so that would work, and it basically requires me to have separate stats. That's all. And these slots will not be affected because they will not give these modifiers here. So basically here, yeah, I guess we'll return here if the corrosive damage is 0. Hmm. Now there's still something that we haven't taken care of. Is that the weapon itself needs to apply a modifier. That should be minus 0.9. And so this would become 1. Because basically the machine gun cannot deal 100% of your damage. Question is, should it then also have this modifier for every type of damage then? In this case, it would be 3 times 0.9. You would deal 0.3 of corrosive. I think that does make sense because I mean, if you apply 3 of corrosive, it would be broken as fuck. Because basically, in 3 hits, you're putting 3 stacks of corrosive that deal 3 damage. So that would mean um, the first second you're gonna deal 3 times 3. And then you're gonna deal 3 times 2, and then you're gonna deal 3 times 1, and then 0. But that would be a total of 9, 6, and 3. So in total, you would be dealing 9 plus 6 plus 3, 18 damage. Compared to with 3 normal bullets, you would deal only 3 damage. That's crazy. Like that's 6 times the damage. Whereas if you do it like this, it would be 0.3 times 3. 0.3 times 3. Yeah. So it would be 0.9 plus 0.6 plus 0.3 would deal 1.8. So that's a substantial increase, but it's like roughly 50-60%. Yeah, it should be like 60% of your normal damage instead of like 600%. Yeah, I feel like that's much more reasonable. But which means I have to have modifiers on the weapon, on the slot, and on the ship. And every time I calculate a stat, I need to pass all of these modifiers to the ship singleton. Alright, I mean, on paper it works. Hopefully I didn't oversee some critical shit, but let's see. I think it should work. Um... So I guess in the end we are not gonna have multiple. We will keep our implementation with multiple damage dealers. And so I'm gonna undo this. I'm gonna undo this, and I'm gonna move this over here. I'm gonna get rid of this. And... God fucking damn it. Fuck's sake. Really? I hate the behavior of the control backspace on Visual Studio. It's not the same as in Visual Studio Code, and it drives me crazy. Anyways, alright, so that's gonna be it, and so that means we also want to change our stats here. And yeah, I guess in the end we're just gonna do this. So we're gonna have damage kinetic, damage energy, damage explosive, damage cryo, damage fire, damage glass. Nah. Maybe you'll have a weapon with diamond or something like that. It would have like very high armor penetration. But right now, armor penetration is given by explosive weapons. Explosive weapons completely ignore armor. But armor should work in a different way, I think. Anyway, maybe. I'll write it down. Let's do like IDs. What's wrong with that? Am I dumb or what? I mean, that's the correct word. Like, what the fuck? Is it checking in French? Maybe it's... Yeah, well, whatever. Something like this. Alright, so, cryo, fire, acid, and... electrical... Alright, so now that we have this, we need to go and... What? Oh, yeah, right. Yes, so I think we should change the damage dealer. Not the damage dealer, actually. That was the whole point of the damage thing. Was to give a ratio, but it's also going to use stat or something like that. Damaged, no, damaged stat name. And so when we fire here, we're gonna use damage stat name instead. All right. Oh, yeah, but the ratio is here. Yeah, because yeah, because in the end I want to do this differently. This shouldn't be what's giving the ratio. It should be the modifiers of the weapon. The problem is that modifiers right now are they are not a component concept basically, so I cannot really add this to an entity. Hmm. Um. I would need a way. I would need a way to map a weapon to its module and weapon modifiers, but like directly inside the ship manager. Mm. So ideally everything would be defined in here. Basically through the layout. So we'd have the ship layout in here. Mm. And this would be loaded from our ship assets. Oh, it's gonna make me change the whole layout system probably, but layout and module system, but I think we kind of need it. Mm, because right now we are getting the layout from the ship, which can work actually. But right now it's working because it's baked. And if I'm using a prefab, trouver le sommeil ne veut pas de moi. Ah, I think it would work though. Let's get rid of this. Mm. The thing is, do I want to actually... Yeah, do I want to keep setting the layout from Unity and using the prefab? Which is very helpful because it avoids me having to code a whole custom layout editor. Because right now how this works is I'm just modifying this ship layout here. Um, and yeah, I just use game objects and they get baked. Mm. So I guess here we don't really... We don't really know on the singleton side what the layout looks like. We do when we install a module. Mm. Mm. The problem is here. This thing would need to have an array of modifiers, basically, so I'm gonna need to add another buffer. And the thing I don't like about this is that I'm gonna have to iterate the whole buffer to find the stats that I need, because I cannot. I was gonna say I cannot use a dictionary, but I can use a native multi-hash map, and that should actually work. Mm. So I need another drawing here. So right now we are defining our layout like this. And so this thing gets a it gets a module slot. And it has a buffer of connected module slots. And then over here, yeah, what we do is yeah. And we have a ship layout entity. So this is our slot entity. And so this thing represents the whole layout. Or at least it represents the slot. Via a buffer of module slots. Yeah. Sorry. This is layout module slots. And why it's different is just because I need a different type, because you can't have this be a component and be a buffer element at the same time, which is an absolute pain in the ass. But that's how it is. So this is basically how this works, and then we have our ship manager. And to install a module into one of these slots, we grab this. So in like install, and we take an index. So you have to imagine this is like 0, 1, 2, and if I want to install in 2, then I go get this entity here. I get the buffer, and I'm gonna ask for the element at index, and then I'm gonna install it. So that's how things work right now, and what I need is that okay, so a module slot also has the plugged-in module. And the plugged-in module is the entity that would represent the machine gun, for example. Or not. Yeah, it is. And it also has a reference to the slots. Entity. Which is itself, basically. But what I need is the reverse, actually. Like, if I have a machine gun in here, when the MG fires, I need to be able to retrieve its modifiers. And I need to be able from this to retrieve the module. Which right now is not the case because I only have the inverse connection. Mm. Oh my god. Mm. Oh yeah, actually we do have it. Are we setting this properly? Mm. No, we are not. Mm. What am I doing it for here? Because we're finding by ID, okay. So we instantiate it, and that means here should be. Yeah, so here I'm doing this, but I need to. I need to get the reference to the ship module. Which is going to be given by entity manager that get components. I don't want to read write ship module of installed module entity. What? Get component object then? Why would this take a system handle? Like, well, get component data, take an entity, and this shit takes a system handle. Like, oh, I swear. This API makes no sense. Um, can I write to this one? Actually, I don't. Yeah, I don't need to get it. I should be doing set component data instead. So install module entity, and we're gonna say new ship module. And so plugged in slot is going to be our install to slot entity. Wait, is that correct? Mm. Oh yeah, because we just parent it here. Mm. And here we set the inverse relationship, basically. Which means that I can now find out in here where is the module. Because I can do system API that get components ship module of weapon entity. So this is going to give me the ship module. And from here I can access the slots. I guess I just need the entity. I cannot get the entity from this. Wait, I forget how to do this. Um, how do I always do it with singletons? Mm. No, that's wait, where am I trying to do here? I'm trying to get the slot because I want the buffers, basically. So I don't need to get the entity. I can just do var modifiers equal system API that gets buffer of modifier, and then wait, I would pass this, and so this would be a slot modifiers, and of course we want our weapon modifiers as well. Mm, Or I could be passing this to the ship manager. I could be passing the slot to the ship manager. And the ship manager would keep track of which modifiers apply to what. Hmm. Am I gonna keep this in single? Hmm. I mean, the first thing would be to have this stuff in the ship manager. So complicated. It's so complicated because there's part of part of it is on the ECS side, part of it is in the singleton, and this would probably be a lot easier to work with if everything was singleton side, but then I'm not sure how I would use the editor to build up the layouts. And transform it into the proper entities. I guess let's try to get the layout into here somehow. Mm. Oh, for now, I'm just gonna create a new class in here. And so this is gonna be your ship layout. Mm. 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 Suck the life out of me. Oh no way. Mm, 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 mm. Mm. Still module, and so take a ship module. Can I call it here? Actually, no. It should be adjacent slot instead. Is it not giving it to me? Is it not possible to do this? Mm. So this is how I imagine this. Now this would need a bit more. And this would just have a list of slots, basically. Oh. So ideally, this is how I would like this to work. And a ship module will have its own um, modifiers. And same thing for the slots. And for example, I would have a, let's say, machine gun. Why is it not screaming here? Maybe I should implement this, no? It's gotta be because this is just call this ship layout module so that there's no confusion. And here I would just return because this is useless. But let's say I'll have a corrosive module. Then just I would come here and say The damage acid is a new list of modifiers. And I want a new modifier. No, new stat modifier. A new stat modifier. Slot true. And value equals, god fucking damn it, ship, yeah, my bad, ship manager of that instance that gets stats. Wait, no, what am I doing? Oh yeah, there would be an arbitrary value at this point. And here I will have to make sure that I cannot do this, right? Okay. I have to make sure that our modifiers here are mm, what? I have to pass it like this? So it's false. And value would be minus 0.9. Not even the AI can figure out the parentheses here. God damn it. Oh, this is so painful. He doesn't want this. Oh. What is he completing with this? Oh shit. This is really annoying. God damn it. That's so painful, the nested data structures in C Sharp. And it's partly because I'm not so used to the syntax, but I feel like syntax is just shit also. Mm. It's a bit weird to have to set it as minus 90% when what I really want to say is that this is dealing only 10% of whatever the final stat is. Mm. And basically we need of this for everything, which is also bad. So maybe I would not use modifiers for this. Mm. Maybe have a public abstract float. Um, or should I do it like this rather? Mm, I guess we would not have modifiers. And it might even be split like this. Mm, yeah, ideally that's what I want. Hmm. La musique m'habite. Hmm. Okay. Huh. Can you do this? Mm. So, not sure if this does what I think it does, but I think it. I think it does what I think. Oh, C# is keyword. Make sure. The is operator checks if the result of an expression is compatible with a given type. Yeah, that should work then, right? You can also use it to match an expression against a pattern. Interesting. Okay. Is int a? Where is this? Where is this a coming from? Is this like a declaration inside the if? Oh, it's the same here. And enable is in B. That's a Boolean declaration inside of an if. I hate this. Absolutely hate this. Whatever. So wait, what? No, it's declaring. It's declaring an int actually. What? iBooks is int a. So it's transferring the value from iBooks from I to a. This is awful. Like whoever uses this is demoniac. Like, good luck in understanding your code if you have this kind of declarations. To check for null, as the following example shows, input is null. Okay. Can use a negation pattern as well. Is not. Okay. Beginning with C#11, well, we are not concerned by this. You can use list patterns to match elements of a list or array. And since when can you use this thing? What's this? What the fuck is this? Is this like any and this is rest? Hmm. Let's see, even to yeah, so okay, so that would be any any number of items in between, or whatever the items are in between. But what is the difference between this and this then? Is this used to get the actual values? Probably. I assume it's similar to JavaScript. Although, although, how would you get it though? Because like it's not named, so how do you get this out? Hmm. Well, anyways, this should work. We are on 2 hours and 30 minutes, so it is time for a break. So I'm gonna go chill for an hour or so, and then we will come back to this insanity. Right, let me. Uh, yeah, we have errors. We have one. Mm, oh, all right. Let's fix this one as well. Well, in this case, it's gonna be stat name that damage explosive. What is this? Where's it coming from? Right. Gonna get rid of this stuff. Mm, yeah, so the whole question is how am I gonna connect this stuff together? I guess I'm gonna have to know which entity hmm. Because given an entity, I should be able to find out uh, it's a slot. Mm, I should be able to convert it to a module in the ship manager, or find it rather. Maybe we'll have a lookup table. Normally the entity index should not change. Once we create the weapon entity, then its index should never change. So we could have just a hash table that just maps a weapon module to the actual entity. Mm, yeah, that could be a solution. Yeah, so a lot of things to figure out. But time for a break. So yeah, 1 to 2 hours break, and well, yeah, probably see you around 3 p.m. All right, thanks for watching, and hopefully see you later. Mm.